Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. It's nice to be back. It seems like I've been away for a long time, but it's actually not that long. But in any case, it's nice to be back. So, we're going to spend the next hour and a half together in a very intense workout, not just for the body, but also for the mind, with the breath and the chi as the bridge between the body and the mind. So, the word that I like to use today to kind of focus our effort is called self healing. This is the magical power in our body, embedded in the body, that actually doesn't age. It actually doesn't age. Our ability to self heal does not change with aging. So, as we age, it's actually even more important to unlock that magical power called self healing. And the prerequisites for self healing is actually mindfulness. And some of you might have seen my recording recently on the idea of peace from within, not just peace with you, but peace be within you. And the way to achieve that is through what I call mindfulness. Now, the Pali word for mindfulness is sati, which just means remember. Always remember where is your mind. Now, today we're going to do the last exercise that we're going to do is the breathing exercise, pranayama. And so we're going to pair that with some joint exercise from the wrist to the elbow to the shoulder to the neck to the back, all the way to the heel. Okay. All right. So let's just be mindful of our body, focus our attention on the body. Let's just start at the very bottom of a spine. Walk up the spine one step at a time. As we do that, we're going to stretch our spine, and then we're going to lean back the upper torso, open that shoulder, relax that shoulder. Now we're going to anchor our mind onto the center of our palm, bring our hands up very slowly, mindfully, all the way to the shoulder level. And now we're going to focus on the wrist. And so we're going to be doing some joint exercise on the wrist. But again, it's not just the exercise for the body, but the exercise for the mind as well. So this is one of the four foundations of mindfulness called the mindfulness of feeling, the feeling of the body. So as we rotate our wrist, we do this one turn at a time. We focus entirely on the feeling of the wrist, contemplate on the change on the body, any heat that we generate, any sweat, any tightness, any pain, and one turn at a time. As soon as we finish one turn, we start another turn from zero. What's past is past. What hasn't happened. Just focus on the present. One turn at a time. Always focus on the feeling of the body, contemplating on the change in the body. Now we're going to turn the other way, but make sure you anchor your mind on the wrist. One turn at a time. Very focused. So, mindfulness is the first step towards achieving peace within you by knowing your body, your emotions, and being able to make choices on not just on the material existence, but the emotional existence, one turn at a time. Now, we're going to lower the hand, but before you do that, I want you to anchor your mind on the center of your palm, bring it down as the same way you bring it up. And back to our spine, stretch your spine, move from the bottom of the spine all towards the top of the head. Stretch that spine. And then lean back the upper torso, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. And then once again, anchor the mind onto the center of your palm. Bring up the hands together very gently, very mindfully, all the way up to the shoulder level. Now we're going to focus on the elbow, the same way that we focus on the wrist. Now we're going to focus on the elbow. And very mindful, one turn at a time, one turn at a time. And as we turn our elbow, we focus on the changes in the sensation in the body. See if there's any heat, sweat, numbness, tightness, pain, any kind of feeling. As soon as we're done with one turn, we start another one from fresh. One turn at a time. What's past is past. What's future is future. And just focus on the present. One turn at a time. Now we're going to turn the other way. One turn at a time. One turn at a time. Now we're going to lower our hands, but before we do that, anchor the mind on the center of your palm, bring it back down the same way you bring it up. And once again, back to the spine. Start at the very bottom of the spine, stretch the spine, move towards the top of the head, and then lean back, the upper torso, open the shoulder, and then relax the shoulder. We're moving from the wrist to the elbow and then now to the shoulder. Let's just anchor mind on the center of the palm again. Bring up the hands. This time we're going to cross the hand, bring it up in front of us, bring it all the way to the top of the head. And now we're going to stretch the entire body, locking the elbow, open the shoulder, pointing the palm outside as if you're touching the walls. And then when you come back down, be totally relaxed. And then start from zero again. Bring it up, stretch, open, palm facing outward as if you're touching the wall. Relax. And then once again, contemplate on the changes in your body. Feel the shoulder as you come down. Open that shoulder, that sensation in the shoulder, a little bit of pain. Bring it back up. Stretch. Open, palm facing outward. Down. One last time. Center the palm. Bring it in front of the face. Bring it up. Stretch. Open that palm. Facing outside. Come down. Now we're going to turn the other way. Open first. Stretch, come down, focus entirely on the center of the palm. Open first, stretch, bring it back down. Open first, stretch, and bring it back down. One last time, open first, stretch, and then bring it back down. And now we're going to move the shoulder from front to back. So once again, back to the spine, stretch that spine, lean back, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. Focus on the center of the palm, bring it up, and get ready. Open all the way back. Feel that pain in the shoulder. Let go of the pain. Come back to the center of the palm again. Very gently, bring it up. All the way back. Feel that pain. Accept that pain. Let go of the pain. Come back to the center of the palm. And then bring it back up. All the way back. Open the shoulder. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Open the shoulder. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Back to the center of the palm. Follow the center of the palm. All the way back. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. One last time. All the way back. Feel it, accept it, and then letting it go. And then sit up straight. I'm going to finish by going from the back to the front, all the way back, as far back as you can. Bring it up, stretch, bring it back down, all the way back, stretch, bring it down, all the way back, stretch, bring it back down. One last time, all the way back, stretch, and then bring it back down. And now we're going to meditate on the breath instead of meditating on the body. So when we are moving, whether we're walking, exercising, we contemplate on the body, focus our mind, anchor our mind onto our body. But as soon as we're stationary, whether we're sitting, lying down, or standing, we anchor our mind onto our breath. So let's just focus on the breath, starting with knowing. I know I'm breathing in. I can feel my in-breath in my body, whether it's in the nostril or in the abdomen. I know I'm breathing out. I can feel my out-breath, one breath at a time. Okay. So many of you practice yoga, many of you practice Tai Chi, many of you practice various forms of spiritual practice that involves the body. And we often think that they're very different. They're like silos. You practice here, you practice here, you practice here. But actually, once you start practicing, you realize that they're all trying to achieve the same goal, which is somewhat similar to awareness, being awareness of your existence, understanding that your existence is beyond the physicality. It's not just the body anymore, that there's a spiritual aspect to your existence. Then you realize that all those techniques are really the same. And so it's very hard for me to explain what is it that we're practicing here. Is it yoga? Is it mindfulness? Is it Zen meditation? Or is it Vipassana meditation? Because it involves all those techniques. Because once you cross the threshold of recognizing your existence beyond just the physical body, then they all come together. And so, for a big part of our practice is actually very similar to the spiritual yoga practice, what we've been calling the 8 limbs of yoga, which involves sila, which is like the how you discipline your body and your mind, and then something else which is very similar, but it's the outward aspect. It's like the Boy Scouts. That you have to do good with your existence, and then the next three things. So that's two, and then the next three has to do with the body, the breath, and the mind, and then finally the last three has to do with one point concentration, focusing on either the body or the breath, and then eventually we achieve what is called Zen, which in the Sanskrit is is jhana. Jhana. Jhana actually became chana in Chinese, then became chan, and then when it came to Korea first, they became sun, and then eventually went from Korea to Japan and became Zen. Okay, and then finally the last aspect is called samadhi, right, which is a very high level of mental awareness. And so that's the basics for yoga practice. And when we call ourselves a Buddhist, we understand that there is a person who's a historical Buddha, and he himself was a yogi first. Similarly, when we talk about Bodhidharma, another North Indian yogi, he came to Japan and really revolutionized the Chinese way of understanding our existence. These are all yogis. And so their practice is based on this 8 limbs of yoga. And so what we just did was really out of that 8 limbs of yoga, focusing on the body, on the breath, and on the mind, and then work towards the ultimate, which is samadhi. Now, the historical Buddha actually brought some unique features to his practice, and we will talk about that as we go on. All right. All right. So now we're going to continue with the practice. We have 3 more exercises before we do a sitting meditation. And now we are starting to practice something beyond the 8 limbs of yoga, something that was taught by the historical Buddha. And it has to do with mindfulness, samatha, and vipassana. Those are the Pali word. Mindfulness would be sati, samatha, and then vipassana. Vipassana just means contemplation, and samatha means focusing on what we call the guarding the sense doors. So we think of the body, the physical body, as these doors that allows us to communicate with the outside, the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, and then the body. And then the eye touches the sight, the ear touches the sound, the nose touches the smell, and the tongue touches the taste, and then the body touches the touch, right? And so it boils down into the 3 things that I already mentioned, which is, put it in a very simple term, very easily digestible term, which would be just feel it, accept it, and then let it go. So let's practice on that. This is the key to achieve peace within you. Okay? Once we know how to do that, then we can unlock the self-healing power that that is innate to our existence. All right. So once again, back to the spine, stretch, lean back, open, relax. We're going to do the first exercise called the double blade. Okay, imagine that our arms are like the blades, and we put one in front, one stretch out. We're going to separate the left brain from the right brain. So we're going to keep the left hand stationary. We're going to focus on the right palm, the center of the palm. We bring it in front of us, making a nice big circle. And then we're going to open the shoulder as far back as you can. We feel that pain, we accept it, and then we let it go, meaning that we are now anchoring back to the palm again, right? So when the pain came, our mind was somewhere else. Our mind was on the pain. But as soon as the pain is gone, we want to come back and anchor our mind onto the center of palm. Don't let that pain metastasize into suffering. Okay. Now continue. Left palm, keeping the right hand stationary. Feel it, accept it, and then letting it go. Sit up straight. Right hand open as far back as you can. Feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Right hand stationary. Left hand very gently. Feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Sit up straight. Right hand, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Left hand, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Two more times. Right hand, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Left hand, sit up straight. One last time. Feel it, accept it, and then let it go. All right. So it's a very simple three things, three steps. Feel it, accept it, and let it go. Okay. So imagine that when you have a fire, you go to the hallway, there's a little red box, and you take the hammer and hit it, and then that turns on the fire hydrant, cools you down, put out the fire. It's similar. It's similar with the mind. Sometimes people do things to you, or you do things to yourself. Anger comes up, right? And I just want you to know, think of that red box on the hallway. You want to put out that fire. This time the fire is within you. So we want to put out that fire. How do you do that? Feel it, accept it, and then go take that hammer to the little red box, hit the glass, and then all it says is feel it, accept it, let it go. And one of the imagery that I like to bring to you, which I've done in the past, is how do you actually maintain that peace within you? I want you to think about your mind and your existence like that lotus pond. I grew up with lotus pond. This the elementary school that I grew up with in Macau actually share with public garden. Used to belong to a very rich family in Macau, and they have a lotus pond in the middle. So it's kind of split in the middle. Half of it is still accessible by the public, and the other half belongs to our elementary school. So I grew up with the lotus pond. And lotus pond is a very, very interesting thing. And that's why we use it a lot in Buddhist study, because the flowers is wonderful. It's one of the most beautiful flower there is. But the flower actually grew out from mud, right? So when you look at the lotus pond, it can be either. It can be very, very calm, and at night you can actually see the moonlight, the moon bouncing off the surface of the pond, or it could be the other one, which is mud everywhere. And when you want to maintain the peace within you, it takes a lot of effort. It's as if you're trying to maintain that calmness on the surface of the pond. And unfortunately, there are always people who want to disturb your peace. It's as if when we were a little kid, people would throw a rock into the pond just to stir up the mud because it's really kind of fun. And so when someone wanted to disturb your peace, the peace within you, it's as if someone threw a rock into the pond. And you have two choices. You can follow the rock all the way down to the bottom of the pond and be part of the mud, or you can just accept it and you can just feel it, accept it, and let it go. And instead of focusing on the bottom of the pond where the mud is, you can focus on the top of the pond and just look at the wave that is generated by this external disturbance. And you can just focus on that as if you're focusing on your own peace within, and just say to yourself, I feel it, I accept it, and I'm going to let it go. Just keep focusing on the surface of the pond, and very soon you'll be able to see the moonlight reflecting on the surface of the pond again. And once again, you will be able to achieve peace within you, in spite of all the external ugliness in life. Okay? It's very, very, very important. It's very important not only for your spiritual health, your emotional health, but as it turns out, also very important for your physical health. Okay, so this is something I want to talk about here is through the exercise, how to feel it, how to accept it, and then how to let it go. And let it go just means anchor your mind. Just remember that. Anchor your mind. Anchor your mind on the body, on the center of your palm, on the center of the bottom of your feet, on any part of your body. Just keep practicing on that. Or anchor on your breath when you're stationary. Okay? All right, so we're going to continue this exercise. We've got two more before we're ready to do some sitting meditation. The next one is throwing the fist. So sit up straight, stretch your spine, open the shoulder, lean back, and then relax. We're going to once again focus on the center of the palm, making a soft fist. Okay, a fist, but not too tight, just very soft. We're going to focus on that fist. We're going to throw it out. Get ready. Out. Now open those fingers. Feel the vibration coming back to your shoulder, and then let it go. Come back to the left hand. Get ready. Up, come back, sit up straight, down, feel the vibration, down, back to the upper corner, up, up, down, down. One last time, up, up, down, down. Now we're going to do two hands at once. Anchor your mind on both sides. Get ready. One, feel the vibration coming back to your shoulder. Two, three, four, and five. Okay. All right. So now we're making progress. All right. We learn how to achieve peace within us, and now we're going to repair some of the damage to our body that is caused by anger, anxiety, all the negative emotions. Right. So this is the part where we're starting to unlock the self-healing capability that is in the body. So by self-healing, by healing, we're talking about hormones in the body, right? So we talk a lot about exercise. People like to say, "Oh, do more exercise. It's good for you." It is very good for you. It's good for your body, good for your mind, because when you exercise, you release a lot of different hormones, and some of which we call the happy hormone, right? They're actually a growth hormone. That's why the before you were teenagers, you have lots of growth hormone in your body, and you're happy. All the kids are happy. Kids are always happy. But then when you approach teenage years, all of a sudden you're not so happy anymore because the body has to shut down the growth hormone. You should stop, because you're kind of done with your growing. And then we're not so used to that. And and so when you exercise, you actually release a lot of the happy hormone, which is good, which is very good, right? So that's why we like to do exercise, right? All kinds of exercise. Now, the problem is that when you exercise, you're also putting your body in stress, right? A lot of stress, and your body will inflame. So part of the hormone that is released by your body is a natural steroid to eliminate, to reverse the inflammation in your body. And that steroid is called cortisol, right? That's why when we have a rash, we ask the doctor for hydrocortisol. When we have, unfortunately, when we have hemorrhoid, for example, we ask for hydrocortisol. Hydrocortisol is a steroid. It actually, we have plenty of it in the body. And if you know how to use that cortisol properly, that's the healing that we're talking about. Unfortunately, um, there's always something that too much of good things, too much of good thing. And when you exercise or when you're under a lot of stress all the time, then you have too much steroid in your body, and your body loses the sensitivity, and then all of a sudden your body starts to inflame. So as we age, almost 100% of the illness has to do with inflammation, and it's not because we don't have enough steroid in the body; it's that we have too much. And so the key is not in reducing the steroid because it's good for healing. The key is to restore the sensitivity to a steroid. And the Chinese for thousands of years knows about that. And they call it the yin yang harmony, right? And basically it says that the reasons that you're losing that self-healing capability is because you have what is now called the autonomous disorder. Because there's two autonomous nervous system in your body. One we know well, which is called fight or flight, and that's when you're under stress. That's when you exercise, fight or flight. And the other one that is equally important is called rest and digest. Right, fight or flight is called sympathetic, and the um, the rest and digest is called parasympathetic. And so we get the next exercise is very important. It's the beginning of restoring the elasticity between the two autonomous system, right? So I think of it as like the rusty faucet. And if the faucet is rusty, two things happen. One is that you open it and you don't know how to, it cannot be turned off. Or the other one is that when it's off, you can't turn it back on. And that's the problem. And when your fight or flight is on all the time, it creates so much stress hormone that you lose sensitivity, right? And your body starts to inflame. That could cause high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, you name it. It's all there. It's all there. Stroke, heart attack, all of that is has to do with inflammation. The other part is when your autonomous system is stuck in the rest and digest, then you have other problems. And the most common one is that you have lightheadedness. You start to have problem with your ears because your body's not reacting anymore. All right, so enough talking. Let's just focus on the practice. And the next exercise is called loosening up the shoulder. Okay, so basically, it comes in four part. The first two has to do with fight or flight, and the last two has to do with the rest and digest. This is the preparation for the sitting meditation. The sitting meditation has to do with abdominal breathing, which again we restore the elasticity between the two. Okay, all right. So very simple exercise. So once again, stretch, open, lean back, relax. And there's two energy points here called the gate to the cloud. We're going to put a thumb on top of that very gently. And now we're going to roll up the fingers. We're going to listen to our body. We're going to follow the elbow. Let the elbow be like the director to the orchestra. Let the other part of the body be just part of the orchestra, and then everyone follows the conductor. So let's lift up our elbow and the shoulder. Listen to the elbow. So the shoulder, we're also lifting up the shoulder, and the spine listens to the elbow. So the entire upper torso is being lifted up as if you bring in the shoulder to your ear. Then we're going to take the elbow and we're going to move it back. Now the rest of the body listen as well. We're going to open up that shoulder, squeeze the tennis ball in the back. The third part is when we lower the elbow and everybody relaxes. And then finally, the fourth is when you point the elbow towards the front. And now what you're doing is you hunch, right? So you wrap your shoulder forward, you look down at the floor, and you bend your back. And from here, we're going to go back to step one, which is lifting up the elbow. And as you do that, you raise your head looking at the camera. And then as you point the elbow back, you're looking at the ceiling about 45 degrees. You open that shoulder. And then as you bring it back, you're looking straight ahead again. And then eventually you're looking down. Okay. Now we're going to coordinate that with the breath. And as we bring up the elbow, we're going to breathe in very gently. We breathe in all the way until we open the shoulder. That's the fight or flight. And then as we point the elbow downward, we relax, we breathe out. That's the rest and digest. So we're cycling between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, restoring the elasticities in the autonomous system, unleashing the self-healing capability in the body. Breathe in, open, breathe out, relax. So when we breathe in, we unleash the steroid in the body to reduce inflammation. And then when we relax, we restore the sensitivity to the steroid. Breathe in, lift up the body, open, breathe out, relax, breathe in, breathe out, relax. Always relax on the out breath. Okay, always relax. The out breath is the rest and digest. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. We're going to do two more times, pointing the elbow forward. Bring up the elbow, breathe in, open that elbow, open that shoulder, pointing the elbow back. Come down, breathe out, relax. Looking down at the floor. One last time, breathe in, breathe out. And then relax entirely. Focusing on the breathing. So what we just did was a very elaborate set of exercise that loosening up your neck, loosening up your shoulder, loosening up your back. That's where the vagus nerves are. Okay. And then also moving the diaphragm. The diaphragm actually is a very important part of our body. The diaphragm really restore the sensitivity to restoring the elasticity between the two autonomous system. So we're going to do more with the abdominal breathing. Right now that we're loosening up the rest of the body, this isn't go back to the central focus now, which is doing more of the deep breathing. Okay. Now, for those of you like me who wears an Apple Watch, there's an app that you should use, right? So look for that app called Mindfulness, and then under Mindfulness is something called breath, breathing. And you can set up for 5 minutes, and basically it tells you when to breathe in, when to breathe out. And after my 5 minutes, it gives you a reading called the resting heart rate. And so it's a very simple form of telling yourself how well you restore the elasticity. The true measure is not just the resting heart rate, but something called the heart rate variability, which is turns out that as you breathe in, you're putting yourself in the sympathetic, the fight or flight, and as you breathe out, you're putting yourself in the rest and digest called parasympathetic, and the heart rate actually changes. The heart beats a little faster when you're in fight or flight, and beats a little slower in the rest and digest. The difference is very small. It's about 50 milliseconds, and the Apple Watch actually records that. But the only way you can get that data is through the iPhone. And so in the iPhone, you under the app called Health, and then look for something called heart rate variability. Now they haven't really untapped that the capability yet. They know that this is part of the billion-dollar business opportunity because recently there's been a really amazing study that puts people in two groups. One, they actually teach them how to do abdominal breathing, exercising a diaphragm, and the other one they just let them listen to music. Okay, relax. And then they measure the heart rate variability and they coordinate that. And these are the people that actually have onset of dementia. And so they coordinate that, the HRV with the protein marker. And they found that the abdominal breathing um, reduces inflammation in the body and directly affects the state of dementia. It's really, really amazing. Really, really amazing. Yeah, that's right. Lisa, thank you for that. So, rumor has it that Apple is also trying to make a ring instead of just Apple Watch, which is because it's probably something you want to wear all the time, right? So probably in the not distant future, when you get married, you give an Apple ring to your partner because you're very concerned about their health, or one made by a different company, or okay. So these are scientific. The science and the both the Western science and the Eastern science are merging, which is very exciting. All right, so enough talking, and we're going to learn how to exercise your diaphragm. Right, we started doing that when we're loosening up the shoulder, we're loosening up everything. Now it's time to do that, and we're going to do some more when we do the breathing exercise. Okay, it's all about restoring your self-healing capability. And it's a very simple. It's really, really simple. And before we do that, we need to put our body into the right posture. Right posture means reducing physical stress, and much of a physical stress come from supporting the weight of the body. Okay, so we're going to learn how to reduce that reliance on the muscle, and we first do that by focusing on the bottom of the spine. We're going to move up one step at a time. I want you to get used to the idea that of this thing called the wandering dragon. It's as if a little dragon, a little baby dragon. I love that. And this is like walking on your spine, starting at the very bottom of your spine. You walk up towards the top of the head, and you stretch the spine, and then you lean back. And as you lean back, you're reducing the reliance on your muscle. You're supporting your upper torso by your spine. Okay. And then you open the shoulder, and then you relax the shoulder. Relax it some more. And now you focus on the forehead. You lean back the forehead until the ears on top of the shoulder. And if you wear a shirt with a collar, your back of the neck will be touching the collar. And this way, you're putting the weight of your head on your spine as if you're balancing a bowling ball with a bamboo stick. And then one last thing is you focus on your chin, you tuck in your chin slightly. So the top of the head, there's an energy point here called the 100 meet, where all the yang energy comes together. And you want to put that on top of the spine. We call this one pillar supporting the sky. Now I want you to focus on your eyelid. I want you to first relax your forehead, relax your eyebrow. Shut your eye, but relax your eyelid. Think about that baby who's sleeping and they don't shut the eye, they just relax the eyelid. So you can actually see some light coming in through your eyelashes. You can see the floor and the knee and perhaps the hand. Just relax. And then finally, I want you to take the tip of the tongue and put it behind. There's an energy point here below your nose, above your lip, and in the inside your mouth will be where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth. I want you to take the tip of the tongue and just rest it there. Okay? And then close your mouth. And as soon as you do that, you feel the saliva inside your mouth. That tells you that you're definitely now in rest and digest. Because the fight or flight, the first thing it does is it turns off your saliva gland. But when you restore the saliva gland, you feel the wetness in your mouth. So you're actually self-hydrating, and the saliva is actually very important for your digestion and very important for your immune system. So we grew up with a tradition, and our mom drilled that on us. When you eat dinner, eating lunch, whatever, we don't drink water. We don't drink water. We eat, and then we finish, then we drink water. Because when you eat, you actually want to make sure that you use all that saliva. It's full of enzyme that helps you with your digestion and restore your immune system. So this is the one exercise that we do. Put the tip of the tongue at the roof of your mouth where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth. close your mouth. You feel the wetness inside. All right, so now you get your body right into just the right shape, right posture. Now we're gonna do some basic exercise, and first we start with just knowing our breath. I know I'm breathing in. I can feel it. I know I'm breathing out. I can feel it. Now we're gonna spend 3 minutes doing the basic, which is what we want to do now is going from knowing to anchoring. We anchor our mind onto a belly button. As soon as we know that we're breathing in, we move that belly button across to forward, as if we're bringing that belly button across the room. As soon as we're breathing out, we take that belly button and we take it all the way back. And what you find is that the body would follow. As you move the belly button forward, the diaphragm is pushed down. You feel like your stomach is open. And when you move that belly button back, you're pushing up the diaphragm and you're collapsing your stomach. Okay? All right, so let's do that. It's a very simple exercise. Might be kind of strange if you've ever done it before, but just focus on that. Breathe in, move forward, breathe out, move back, exercising that diaphragm. 3 minutes. Okay, so 3 minutes is like cranking an engine, right? So now we're ready to practice this 8,000-year-old technique. It's a technique for unleashing the self-healing capability in your body by cycling the qi, what we call the qi, the life energy, between the yang, yang means facing the sun, and the yin, which is away from the sun. So the back is obviously facing the sun. That's where the yang energies are. And the front of your body is away from the sun. That's the yin energy. It actually doesn't mean positive or negative. It just means the two aspects of the universe. One is energetic and one is restorative. And so we do that by first coming back to the body, restoring that posture, the proper posture that reduces stress by stretching the spine, leaning back the spine, opening the shoulder, relax the shoulder, lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin, relax the eyelid, and then making sure that the tip of the tongue is at the roof of your mouth, not all the way to the top of the roof, just where the teeth meets the roof of the mouth. And now we're going to focus on the breathing. Know that we're breathing in. Know that we're breathing out. And now we're going to focus on the lower part of your spine, the very bottom of your spine. As soon as we know that we're breathing in, we move up, we walk towards the top of the head, along the spine, and we take the body with us by stretching the upper torso. And then we get to the top of the head, and we wait for the out breath. And when we start breathing out, we come back from the front of the body, starting at the forehead, down to the bridge of your nose, the tip of your nose, the chin, all the way down towards the belly button. And as we do that, we lean back the upper torso, completely relax. Then when we breathe in, we move up again. And this is called the microcosmic orbit, and by a very famous Taoist, but actually who was born a couple hundred years after Bodhidharma. So this technique actually came from the yogi practice, and the Chinese kind of modified that a little bit, but essentially the same. So in my practice, we don't call this microcosmic orbit, we call this wandering dragon chasing the pearl. The key word is wandering. Wandering means free. So I don't want you to feel like you're constraining the dragon, forcing the dragon, beating the body into submission. No, I just want you to be very relaxed. Let that dragon be free. It's like that little baby dragon. The dragon walk up your spine as you breathe in. And when it gets to the top of the head, let it go. And dragon likes to go into the cloud, they hide in the cloud. And then when you breathe out, let the dragon comes back out. And then let it come down as you lean back the upper torso into your belly button, as if that is the cave for the dragon. The dragon's inside, resting, hibernating, and then waiting for your out breath, in breath again. As soon as the in breath starts, at the very bottom of your spine, stretch, bring it up, all the way up, let it go. And then when you breathe out, come back to the belly button, and then just resting in the belly button. Okay. Now, when you do that, and if you truly letting go the dragon, you will feel coolness in your brain, and you will feel warmth in your element. So, in the Chinese tradition, and understanding is that you're mixing the water and the fire. The fire comes on the upper part of your upper torso, which is the heart and the lung, and the water comes from the very lower part of your body, which is the kidney energy. So that you're mixing the body, which is just another way of saying you're restoring the elasticity between the energetic and the restorative. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, we're going to spend 7 minutes practicing this very important practice that restores our mental, emotional, and physical health by unleashing this self-healing power. So back to our body, sit up straight, open the shoulder, relax, keeping the tip of the tongue at the roof of your mouth. We start at the very bottom of the spine. As we breathe in, we stretch the spine, move all the way up to the top of the head. That's the fight or flight. As we breathe out, we come back towards the belly button, leaning back up the torso. Let's do that for 7 minutes, okay? It's not easy, but it's very worth it. And if you measure your heart rate variability, you will see an improvement. Trust me, after your practice. Not immediately, okay, but eventually. Breathe in, stretch the upper torso, move from the bottom spine towards the top of the head. Breathe out, starting at the forehead, come back to the belly button and relax, lean back the torso. Stretch, Stretch again. Breathe in, stretch. Breathe out, relax. Okay? Okay, open your eyes. All right. So 7 minutes. Why 7 minutes? Well, seven is half of 14. And 14 or 14 and a half is 1% of the total time that you have in 24 hours. 24 hours is 1440 minutes. So 7 minutes, 14 minutes or 15 minutes is 1% investment. So um, meditating for 15 minutes a day, whether you break it into two part or three part, is a good investment in my book. And so, for example, I want you to get into the habit of restoring your harmony, right? Whenever you do something that causes anxiety in you or is energetic, whether you go to the gym, go to yoga class, before you finish, before you leave the gym, sit down for 5 minutes and just breathe. Use the abdomen. Not just relax, but actually use your abdomen, and that will restore the elasticity between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, and ultimately restoring the sensitivity to the cortisol, and then letting the cortisol do its magic, which is to reduce inflammation. That's what the body is designed for. And so, if you have more time, you can do it for 7 minutes. And if you have even more time, you can do 15 minutes. Understanding that 15 is the magic word. 14.4 is the magic word. That's 1% of your total day. Okay. 99% return. That's not bad. That's not bad. Huh? All right. So now we know that when we exercise, we wanted to have that balance, and we want to make sure that we do enough cardio exercise, we do enough muscle building, and we do enough stretching, right? So those are the three kinds of exercise we want to do. The Chinese think the same way, and except that when we talk about cardio, it's not just the heart; it's both the heart and the lung. And so we do a lot of exercise to improve the lung heart capacity. We do a lot of exercise to stretch. We do a lot of exercise to build muscle as well. Now, except that they put it in three different buckets, which is slightly different. And so there's three kinds of deficiency in you. Now, when we talk about qi, we as if it's just one word, but actually in Chinese it's two words. It's shi qi. Qi means breath. It means energy. It means the flow. And shi just means blood. It's like the electricity versus the magnetism. You cannot separate. And so the three buckets is either the shi deficiency, blood deficiency, qi deficiency, and then there's one more called yang deficiency. Yang means the the, the, the sun, right? Facing the positive energy. And so, how do you know that if you're blood deficient, well, you don't have enough blood in your body, you look very pale, and especially the bottom of your feet looks just white because there's not enough blood flow. And if you don't have enough blood flow, you have high blood pressure because the heart has to work overtime. And how do you know you don't have enough qi? Well, qi in this case means breath. So if you walk the stairs and you're huffing and puffing, that means your lung heart capacity is not there. And then finally, the yang deficiency. You just don't have the energy, right? You just feel tired all the time. And so the next exercise, we're going to work on that, but mostly in the back by doing stretching. And we do stretching. We always do stretching on Saturday. Either we do it sitting or we're doing on the floor, right? Next week, we're going to do on the floor. But this week, we're going to do the upper part and stretching basically all the parts in your body that are facing the sun. All right. We're going to start by doing 3 deep breaths, exercising the diaphragm. Stretching means stretching the connective tissue, right, in your body. And the most important connective tissue is your diaphragm. So we're going to do 3 deep breaths first. Wake up this body. So let's again sit up straight, stretch, open, lean back, relax. We're going to put the fingers, locking the fingers. We're going to put that slightly below the belly button, about 2 fingers. There's an energy point here called the sea of qi. This is the where the energy comes from your mother when you're inside the womb. Okay, the belly, the the belly button and the tube is just the nutrient. The chi actually comes here. All right, and then we're gonna Breathe in, raising a palm, following the palm, stretching up the torso. We're going to breathe in from here to here. This is where the yang energy and the yin energy meets, right? That's why we need to put the tongue there to connect that path. Get ready? Breathe in. And then breathe out. Looking, following the palm, lock your elbow, looking straight ahead now. Open that shoulder, stretch the elbow as if you're climbing the mountain. And then completely relax back to holding your fingers again. Breathe in, breathe out, looking straight ahead. Climb the mountain using as much strength as you can. Back one last time. Breathe in, breathe out, looking straight ahead. Climb the mountain and then completely relax, locking the fingers again, palm facing up, palm facing down. Stretch, lock that elbow, looking straight ahead, follow the center of your palm all the way up, locking your elbow. Lean back slightly, forming a straight line and push towards the ceiling, stretching your spine. And then lean back, come back to the middle, stretch, lean to the left, come back to the middle, stretch, lean to the right, come back to the middle, stretch, lean to the left, come back to the middle. One last time, stretch, lean to the right, come back to the middle. Follow the center of your palm, bring it back down, completely relax, sit up straight, opening that shoulder, relax the shoulder, putting your right palm touching the left shoulder, lean back the forehead, looking straight ahead. So you're putting pressure on the right shoulder. Take the left arm, grab your right elbow, sit up straight, stretch to the left, come back. The other hand, again, looking straight ahead, putting pressure on your left shoulder, lean to the right, and then come back, focusing on your breathing, restoring the harmony in the yin and yang, one breath at a time. And now we're going to stretch both the inside your hand and the outside your hand. First, the inside your hand. We take the left palm, palm facing up. Take the right hand, put that between your fingers and your palm. Sit up straight, bring down the hand. Push out the elbow, lock your elbow. Use your elbow to push your arm. Center the palm facing forward, putting some pressure on your wrist. Bring it all the way up to the eyebrow. Sit up straight, don't turn your body. Just take your left arm and stretch it to the right all the way. Lock your elbow, bring it back, completely relax. Now to the right hand, sit up straight, bring down your elbow, stretch your elbow, push out, and then push upward, palm facing forward, locking your elbow all the way to eyebrow. Without turning your body, take your right arm and stretch it to the left. Bring it back, completely relax. Back to your breath, restoring that harmony, restoring that elasticity in your autonomous system, one breath at a time. And now we're stretching the outside arm. Once again, open your shoulder, lean back, relax. Now the right arm, palm facing up, left arm, palm facing down. The wrist is 90 degree. Open the shoulder, focus on the right arm, move towards the ceiling, all the way up. Lock your elbow as if you're supporting your sky with your right arm. Now take your left arm, push it down as if you're supporting the earth. Lock your elbow. Take your right arm, lean back, and then rotate to the left to the shoulder. Keep rotating your eye until you, as if you're looking at your back. Bring back your eyes, bring back your head, relax. Now do the other way. Open your shoulder, push, and then right arm, push. Lock your elbow, both sides. Take your left arm, lean back, turn your head to the right, to the shoulder, and turn your eyes so you're looking at your back. Bring back your eyes, bring back your head, and then relax. Okay, so this is stretching the upper part of your arm. And next week, we're going to talk more about that. This is a very important energy point called a triple warmer. And now we're going to stretch the back, right? Enhancing the yang energy. And sit up straight, open that shoulder, relax. And we're going to take two hands, lock your fingers, put that at the bottom of your spine, palm facing up. Turn your palm, so palm facing down. Stretch until you lock the elbow. Focus on the top of the head and the center of your palm simultaneously. Push your head towards the ceiling and the center of palm towards the floor. One up, one down. Stretch your spine and then relax. Lean back the forehead so you're looking at the ceiling, 45-degree. Focus on the center of the palm. Bring up your hand as far as you can. And then relax back to the breathing. And then now, it's very important to examine your breathing. Make sure you're not huffing or puffing. And just very gently restoring that harmony, one breath at a time. Now sit up straight again, open the shoulder. Take the right arm, put the palm in the back, lean back the forehead so you're looking straight ahead. Stretch the right shoulder up as far up as you can. Relax, take the other hand. Again, looking straight ahead. Take your left shoulder and stretch it as hard as you can. And then relax. Back to the breathing. Very important, okay? Restoring the sensitivity to your stress hormone, restoring the harmony. Let the body heal itself, one breath at a time. Once again, sit up straight, open the shoulder. Now take your right hand, the back of the hand at the lower part of your spine, two fingers pointing the left shoulder, and then stretch your right shoulder down, finger up. Relax. The other hand, stretch your left shoulder down, fingers up. Sit up straight, two hands touching. Sit up straight, don't look down, look straight ahead. Two shoulders, right shoulder up, left shoulder down. Relax. The other hand. Looking straight ahead, left shoulder up, right shoulder down, and then back to the breathing. Examine your breath. One breath at a time. Slow down your breathing. Examine your heart rate. Let the heart rate slow down as well. Make sure you're in rest and digest, okay? All right, one last exercise. Stretch your spine, open the shoulder, relax. We call this reverse Buddha. We put our palms together, fingers facing down, fingers facing up. Bring up the hand, put the palms together. Put that in the back of your spine. Sit up straight. Use your palm to push your body forward. Use your shoulder to lean back, one forward, one back. And then now focus on your breathing. One breath at a time. And then relax. Focus on your breath. One breath at a time. One breath at a time. Okay? Always remember, as much as you spend time on energizing your body, you want to spend equal time restoring the body, restoring that harmony, restoring the sensitivity to stress hormone. That's the whole key to self-healing. Okay? Let your body heal itself. Otherwise, you have too much stress hormone in the body, too much of a good thing, right? All right, so now we're going to do this last exercise called the abdominal breathing exercise, right? So in the 8 limbs of yoga is called the pranayama, right? Prana means breath, right? Breathing with your stomach. All right, now, but before we do that, we need to continue with the joint exercise. So we're going to work on the knee, and then the ankle, and right. The knee is like the elbow. The ankle is like the wrist, okay, and the wrist is like the shoulder, right? We used to walk on all four. All right, so let's work on the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to work on the heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the hip is also very important. The hip is like the shoulder. And as we age, and it's very important to maintain the elasticity of your hip. Otherwise, you fall very easily. Okay, there's just the body's not reacting fast enough, and when you lose your balance, you don't know how to restore that. The hip is very important as you age. So this is a very good exercise for the hip. So right foot forward, two hands together, looking straight ahead. Now lean back to your left foot, forming a straight line between your heel and your knee and your hip and your shoulder, and we turn along that straight line all the way back and then all the way back until you can't turn anymore. Then you move back and then relax. Second time, twist forward and then relax. One last time, twist forward and then relax. Okay, now the other hip, same thing, form straight line, turn forward, relax, back, turn, forward, relax. One last time, turn, forward, and then relax, right? That's why dancing is important as you age. It restores that flexibility of the hips so you don't fall so easily, right? All right, so now we're ready. Now we're ready. Ready to do this very important exercise. This exercise has three very important purpose. One, it's a meditation. It's mindfulness in motion. Sometimes we meditate when we sit down. Sometimes we meditate when we stand. Sometimes we meditate when we're lying down. Sometimes we meditate when we exercise. This is a meditation. It's mindfulness in motion. Second, it increases your lung and your heart capacity. It's cardio, right? But in the super form of cardio. And then number three, it's breathing, abdominal breathing. Restore the harmony between the yin and the yang. Okay, comes in five form. We're going to go over time a little bit. I spent a lot of time talking today because I haven't seen you guys for so long. All right, so first we're going to plant our feet firmly on the ground as if our body is a pine tree, right? So we sit like the bell, we stand like the pine tree. Pine tree means that we plant our feet as if we're growing roots, but yet the body has to be flexible. So we just don't lock your knee, just kind of loose up your knee a little bit. Open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin, relax the forehead, relax the eyelid. Okay? Now focus on the center of your palm, bring it up. One, bring it towards yourself. Two, bring it down and let the body follow the palm straight down. Don't lean forward. And then four is when you stand up. One and two is when you breathe in using your nose. Close your mouth. And then breathe out. Four is when you relax. And you start from zero again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Always relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Okay. Breathe in. Crossing your hand now. Breathe out. All the way. Bring it back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stand up straight. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. One last time. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Stand up straight. We're going to do 1 minute of standing meditation. And standing is when you're still, which means that you anchor your mind on your breath. Okay, 1 minute. We're going to anchor our mind on the breath, one breath at a time. Now, 1 minute is 60 seconds. So just break it down, one breath at a time. Okay, so you notice that the exercise is in progression. It gets a little bit more challenging, okay, as we go. So next one's called balloon breathing. You lean back and notice that the right foot, the toes are pointing up, all right? And then you take your hand, all right? You lean forward, so you're looking at the floor 45-degree, and your heel is up on the left foot. And you bring it back. Now you're looking at the ceiling, 45-degree. The toes are up. Forward, breathe in, follow the hand, backward, breathe out, follow the hand, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, one last time. Follow the hand, breathe in, and breathe out. Lower the hand, and then restore your standing position. 1 minute, 60 seconds. Focus on your breath, one breath at a time. Now we're going to keep checking on your mind. Your mind likes to be somewhere else, okay? So as soon as you find that your mind is somewhere else, just invite your mind back into your breath. Okay, open your eyes. Now we're going to continue the left side. Get ready. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, one last time. Breathe in, breathe out. Lower your hands. Okay, and 1 more minute, 60 seconds, one breath at a time. Anchoring your mind on your breath. Okay. Now, as you do this exercise, you notice that your breathing is a little bit more enhanced, right? Every time, enhanced because your body is gaining that muscle memory. It's using more and more your diaphragm. Okay. Now, the next one is really good in forcing the diaphragm, and it's called a butterfly. So we stand, and then we follow the hand, lift up the hand, follow the hand, bring it back down. Now the knees follows. The knees goes down, go down like an elevator, straight down, okay? And then you bring it back up. Your knees come back up, and you're lifting your heel. You're standing on your toes. You're focused on the hand. The back of the hand is touching. Now, as you come down, you breathe in. As you go up, you breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Standing on your toes, okay? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now follow the center of your palm. Bring down your hands, lower your heel, and then stand properly. Another minutes of standing meditation. Focus entirely on your breath. And now you can feel your stomach actually move on its own. Okay, now the next one is called pushing hand. Looks a lot simpler than the butterfly. It's actually more difficult than a butterfly to do well. And what you want to do is you want to imagine there's a water wheel in front of you. You bring up your hand at 3 o'clock, bring it to 12 o'clock, and then at 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and now you're in 3 o'clock, and you lower your entire body. And then you stand up again, looking straight ahead, and you push. Okay, once again, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Lower your body, stand back up, push. Now, as you bring in, you breathe in, all the way in, all the way down, and then you breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And you notice that you're using every part of your body, your fingers, your toes, your wrists, your heel, your elbow, your knee, your shoulder, and your hip. All 6 parts of your body. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Follow the hand. Okay, the eyes always on the center of your palm. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. So part of the trick in this one is you need to let go of your thinking mind. You need to let go of your thinking mind. Don't judge your body. Just feel your body. Feel the air coming through your fingers. Feel the air coming into your stomach. your lung and your stomach, and feel the air going back out. Okay, don't use your mind. Don't use your thinking mind. And now 1 minute. Okay, open your eyes. Now, many of you are probably watching the new Shogun series, right? And I love that. When it first came out in 1980, I couldn't let my out. I mean, I love it. So when it's being remade again, it's really great. So you notice that if you are watching Shogun, which the finale comes next Tuesday, they have another Japanese actor who's doing Lord Toranaga, right? Now, the same actor was also in another movie, a samurai movie. This time done by Tom Cruise, The Last Samurai. And do you remember the scene where Tom Cruise finally learned how to fight a samurai? When he finally learned how to let go of the thinking mind, and he just feel it. And so that's what you have to do is you just have to feel it, right? So another movie that I like to do is a Karate Kid, where you just feel it, wax on, wax off. Just feel it. Breathe in. That's why I call this is a meditation. Feel it, wax off. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Breathe in, breathe out. One last time. Breathe in, breathe out. Back to the standing. This is the last 1 minute standing meditation. Okay. So it's time to say, I am not going to leave my breath for 1 minute, just 60 seconds, one tick at a time. Okay, so the last form, the last exercise is up and down breathing. This one actually restores the, the adrenaline. So I talk about the adrenal gland, the one components, the one body part that releases stress hormone, and I talk about it as if it's a rusty faucet. Either you on, you don't know how to turn it off, which means that you're putting stress hormone out all the time to the point where you lose your sensitivity and your body inflamed. And the other one is that it doesn't turn on anymore, and that's when we call adrenal fatigue, and that's when you have lightheadedness easily. You and so if you have that, then you need to do this exercise. But if you have that, then you better put a chair next to you because you will get lightheadedness, right? Initially. All right, now get ready. Breathe in. And when we breathe out, we go down, all the way down, and then we bend forward. Then we breathe in again, and we bend all the way back. And then we relax like that. Okay, two more times. Get ready. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax. One last time. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then relax. That's all. That's all. Okay. And then now we walk back to the seat. We're going to do 5 minutes of meditation. Okay. And this time, I just want you to feel your breath. Feel your breath. After that breathing exercise, what we call the pranayama, you can feel your stomach very easily. And just let the body rest for 5 minutes. Feel your breath. Okay. Make use of your time. You can exercise your diaphragm any way you want. Just follow the breath. Move your belly button forward. Move your belly button backward. Or you can actually cycle the chi through your spine like we talked about before. It's any one of those. Just do it, whatever you feel comfortable. Just completely relax, focusing on your breathing, one breath at a time. After that breathing exercise, your body actually have restored its self-healing capability, and it's just breathing on its own using the diaphragm, which is really wonderful. Okay? And you just here to enjoy that. Finally, we get to where we wanted, which is to unleash the self-healing magic power in your body. Body is healing itself like the way it should be, the way it was designed. Okay, open your eyes. And before we go, even though we're over time, let's just do a little bit of massage. All right. Now, the body has the left side and the right side. The body is not symmetrical, and it's not the same for everyone. But there is the left and the right, and there's a yin and a yang. So if you put your hands together, imagine you have a big circle like the Tai Chi, and you kind of just rub that together, bringing harmony in your energy system. And then you use that to massage the front of the face from the forehead to the chin, massage the side of the face, massage the temple, massage the forehead, and now massage the top part, the big brain, the part that is responsible for your cognitive function, the back of the brain, the part that is responsible for the memory, the lower part of the brain, that's the motor function, and then massage the neck, and then massage the top of the ear. Okay. All right. So it's nice to be back. And let's see. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy mentioned how she's been with us for 2 years now. I know many of you has been with me for 2 years or 3 years. Right? We started this at the beginning of the pandemic. So it's been almost 4 years now, and many of you have been with me from the beginning. How do I know? How do I know? Because if you practice me every week, not only do you see the improvement in your body, in your energy level, but you also see improvement in your mind. You will start to attain certain amount of peacefulness within you. And then you will find that you don't need to speak so much. You don't need to type so much. I remember 3 years ago, everybody had to type. I used to make a joke. I hope you have three hands, because you can only type while you're exercising if you have three hands. But now we don't find it so necessary to type to speak, because we have certain amount of peacefulness within us, and that's important. Okay. All right. So let's put our hands together. This gesture is international. It's across all religion. It basically symbolizes a humbleness, our respect, and our gratitude. Let us all be blessed with health, with happiness, and with peace. And like it speaks in the Bible, let that be peace with you and peace be within you. Namaste. I'll see you back here next week. Okay? I'll be back. I'm back now. I believe my next trip is somewhere in August, in the middle of summer. So we have plenty of time to practice. Okay. And with that, I bid you goodbye. Have a great weekend and enjoy your family, enjoy your health. Okay. Bye bye. Okay. 星期一見. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay.